right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Yeah. Good to see you out there. Paul Tranny here. Matt D. Smith, last day, so it's going to be really fun, and then we're going to get a little choked up after a while, I think.
I was crying earlier in the bathroom.
It was kind of a thing. That's why you
had my voice is a little raspy because I've been crying so much.
He's been crying. He's missing it already. Yeah. So good to have you here, everyone. Jim and Mitch and James and Laura. Always nice seeing some familiar faces. Maybe we have pants on, maybe we don't.
Texetta
has the coolest. I don't know how he does that with the characters in his name, but good to have you all here. I said good morning, but always curious as to where people are from, and whether you've been watching all 3 days. I'm curious as even if we went, say, for the entire week for 5 days, if people would be interested in that, just out of curiosity. But
I think they would.
I hope so, man. I don't know. I work from home, so I get super pathetic, pretty much, and say I need somebody to talk to. So that's why I like having this.
It'll be a symbiotic relationship.
Yes, I think it would be wonderful. So what's up from Norway? People as far away as Germany and Lebanon, which is cool. Matt, where do you hail from? I don't know if you want to give us a recap.
Athens, Georgia, in the southeast, just outside of Atlanta. Birthplace of REM.
Oh, really?
And B-52s.
Oh.
Lots of good music scene there.
Very cool.
Probably others.
I did not know that. So cool, we have contests going on. We're going to have some giveaways. So basically giveaways like every hour, all day today. This is our third day. We're doing a little UX, UI today in Adobe XD, right?
Indeed we are.
Yeah, I would love to see your fancy screen. Look at that.
Check it out. Yeah, that's what we've got so far. Haven't done anything to this since yesterday. Everything is still kind of scattered about. We've got our kind of a home screen here. I can actually just run us through the quick prototype if we want to do a recap. I recognize a lot of people from yesterday, but for those who haven't seen it, this is kind of the app. We've got location on a globe here, some different list of locations, and if we can click on the globe, we can go into the Temple of Infinite Kittens, and we can choose to fight a robot here, and then we can choose between these deceptively cute robots. And then
the cuter, the more deadly.
That's right. Can't remember which one you can fight. Yeah, we're fighting this one. And here we have Paul Tranny fighting Feline 009.
I really like what you did with the screen, though, by the way, because we spent some time with it.
Fiddling with it in the last little bit.
I love the font, actually. I mean, italic, larger like that, totally works. So
yeah.
Good. So yes, hello from Chile. Good to have you here, Edgar. Awesome. Brazil in the house. Bianca, what's up? So, and what's cool about this is I think a lot of the names and places actually was generated by you out there, the audience, or came through chat. So I always like to see active chat.
Yeah.
Because that's where all the...
That's the best part. Getting all of the recommendations from all of you and putting it in here, it makes it feel good.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it's really good to get everyone's input. You kind of know when something is going over well or not, kind of just based on the reaction from the audience.
That's
you know,
right.
because they really like it. And you got to admit, that globe is looking pretty dope.
And for example, Felicia, she really likes our hair today. So we know we did a good job of getting ready this morning.
Well, is it okay we say the secret to good hair is actually not washing it?
That's right.
But we did. We both washed our hair today, so it has it's extra bouncy and full today. I think is what's happening.
That's right.
Yes, we showered. Can you believe it?
Luca, are they allowed to use yesterday's concepts in today's challenge, like building off of it, or do they need to do from scratch?
I think they definitely need to add to it, like for sure. So this is a good question. I don't know. We might have to ask the Adobe Live team. I mean, this is a tough one. You can't resubmit the same artwork. No,
and I'm gonna
you need to build in more screens. You know what I'm saying?
And we're gonna know which ones have the screens.
We're gonna have a
very good memory.
Yeah, so it's like mine like a steel trap. But we would love to see new designs, new prototypes. So I would reuse a lot of that content, but personally I'd like to see some new stuff. But reuse that content. Because that's going to be the problem, because we could have even given it away to someone. I don't know. It's kind of... We want to make it interesting for the entire audience as we review those. And we're going to be reviewing those designs as you submit them. So keep in mind, when you hit publish, that link is live, so you can sneakily update it. So you could submit now, and you can always kind of update some text kind of like later on. But I plan on reviewing those designs kind of as we go along. So Clint, see, I would love for this to happen, by the way. He says, can you add animation through After Effects? I wish I could.
So you can't do that directly through XD, but you could, for example, like animate, you could give this fight scene to someone like Evan, get him to like add in the punching gloves and After Effects, or maybe some kind of, some motion, and he could export that as like a GIF or like an animated GIF, and then you could post that online in like an iPhone frame. So it's not that you can't do it at all, but you can't import that back into XD. If you wanted to
workarounds.
Yeah, so you could take these elements. We could probably hand that to Evan, and he could either recreate it in After Effects, or there's different ways around it.
Yeah, that is a good idea. I think we should. You do have that nice scrolling list. If we could just take a look at how you did that, just so everybody's familiar.
Let's do it.
And yeah, Matt, how did this happen? This happened yesterday. We wore like the same outfit, and I had to put on a jacket. Today we're both wearing brown, as somebody points out.
Yeah.
How did we coordinate this? Like, what's happening?
It's just like a mind meld. I think that...
I don't know what's going on. Like, I try to switch it up. I'm all black.
I was gonna wear my jacket, but it's a little, I get a little nervous and warm. You gotta be able to breathe.
Yeah. Maybe socks later. So yeah.
This is technically like olive green. It looks a little brown in the camera, but
we look like the same guy. Let's go ahead.
Okay, we went hunting this morning.
Yeah, we went hunting this morning. Ooh, oh, awesome. They can maybe be a giveaway. Ew. So somebody mentioned socks. James, any socks today? Yeah, I think we have them right here. Boop. Glorious. Can we go full screen? These are the Adobe socks, the XD socks. In case you were wondering, this is what was mentioned. So we may or may not be wearing pants, but we are wearing these socks right now. These I actually only wore for about 3 weeks, so they're only slightly used, and you could win them.
And then I borrowed them yesterday. So
and he borrowed them yesterday.
Just one time.
We're going to give away both of them. Both socks.
Not one, but two.
One for the left, one for the right. And we will do that in an hour, by the way. So I can't do it right now. Just because.
Look at Jim DeRocker's already rocking the puns.
Oh, man.
Get socks with the XD on the end. I like it.
Got it. Good stuff. Yes, Hector. I like the way you think, Hector. Yeah, I want to show the scrolling list. If you could just kind of show preview it.
Yeah.
And
list. Here we go. So like in my mind, this would technically, like before I do that, I could see this, this list could kind of scroll over the top of that, like as you're scrolling. I think that would be a neat interaction. Maybe this whole thing kind of like, it's like a subtle parallax transition back there.
Love it.
And then if you pulled this all the way down, you could pull it down and kind of pop it into this mode.
Oh, okay.
And then, that could be, it's something you can't quite show in XD, but if you, if you just have those ideas and you work with someone like Evan or even, developer working on that, and you have, a lot of that's not that difficult to implement when you get ready, but just thinking of cool transitions like that.
I love the idea. I mean, that does make a lot of sense. How can you show how you made that in XD? Because I think it's a sneaky little.
You mean just this one screen here?
Actually, yeah, just like how you do that whole drop down list. like, because look at how long that artboard is, and so like, how did you make that scrollable vertically?
Yeah, so we just start with one screen here. You can choose iPhone X. iPhone 10 is the technical term, but it's an X, so I say X sometimes. That's
just like it's Shauna 10.
That's right. Are you Shauna 10 or Shauna X? She's still back there, by the way. And that's the only reason I'm using that artboard size. That's because that's what I'm designing on today. So you just have the screen up here, and you just grab, while the artboard is selected, you can just pull this thing down, and you can see where the scroll indication is right in there.
And does that correlate, like, so in the properties panel?
Oh, I made a new artboard. Let me go back to it. Yeah, so that's over here on viewport height.
Yeah, so that will always stay the same. So that's like the height of the iPhone 10, right? And scrolling is set to vertical.
Yep. And honestly, like, I don't change that very often at all. The only time I would imagine changing that is if I was working on a wider website and I wanted to show like a fold line for smaller screens. Maybe it's like a 700 pixel below the fold or 800 pixels below the fold. You could change that line. Other than that, I don't really use it that often.
Yeah.
It just, it happens automatically.
And then you have your repeat grid right there. Super easy to make.
I just made one of these. You can ungroup it and make it, a lot faster. Say you're working on a document and your computer crashes, hypothetically. And
like it did 2 days ago.
You never know. And
Save.
you don't want to design every single one of these. You can, design it again and hit Command.
That's where we were on the first day, is the Valley of No Autosaves.
That's right. That's why we're there. You hit Command R and you can just drag this thing to as long as you want. Go in and adjust the padding in here, margin, whatever you want to call it. And then we had our text document that I still have right here that I can just drop into the name.
Pop.
Get all of those in there.
Populates accordingly, yeah.
That's right. So I've also got all these pictures that Paul grabbed for me of the different places. You can pull all of these into that image. So yeah, that's pretty quick to create.
Yeah, that was super fast. And I think once people see this, they're like, I want this in Illustrator. I want this in Photoshop. Like, I want it everywhere, essentially. But I think Mitch has a good question. Thanks you for pointing that out, Laura.
All right, where are we at? Okay.
Yeah, like, so basically,
what advice would Matt give to someone wanting to know more about UX design, the best way to learn outside of attending school for it? Yeah, it's a really good question, and I get asked a lot, and it's kind of tricky. Like, I didn't go to school for UX design. I went to school in painting and drawing, and then I went into graphic design, but it was very heavily like illustration. I did a lot of illustration, and I got into the web afterwards for, I found it easier to make money creating websites than drawings. And the way that I learned, I started contracting as a graphic designer at web agencies, and they had dedicated information architects, and that was the kind of the trendy name before user experience designer became a thing. And so I started learning that they're building all these wireframes and really critically thinking about the flow and the full experience versus, the way a button looks, and just thinking more strategically. And the way I learned was just, I was involved in projects where they were creating these wireframes, and then I would design, and I would get feedback on the experience based on the designs. And just over a span of 2 or 3 years, learning from other people. It wasn't like a quick thing like, oh, now I understand UX design. And I'm still constantly learning about ways to get better, but that was personally the way I learned. And then I started doing UX design for client work on my own. I was thinking, like, I can design these wireframes. I'm starting to understand the flow. And, that's one way to do it. Just try to get near people that are doing it or involved in projects where you can maybe design something that someone has wireframed. And there's definitely a lot of little courses here and there. I made a course on UX design using Adobe Illustrator, and I don't use Illustrator quite as much anymore with some of the newer tools that are out there like XD, which makes it a little bit faster. But there are some case studies that I put together on learnAIUX.com. So even if you're not using Illustrator, you can get some of those case studies, which it's not going to be a full-on UX design, exhaustive coursework or anything, but it'll give you a little bit of a peek into the mindset of that. It's still very vague. I feel like I still haven't answered the question very well.
Well, and I think I think people, what gets tricky about it is like, so if you want to get into graphic design, people will be like, I'll make a logo for myself, and I want to get into web design, I'll make a website for myself, which works out great. Doing UI and UX gets a little more tricky because it's probably going to mean you're going to need a developer, that side of it. Don't you think? Or, I mean, if you wanted to actually build something out.
Yeah.
Orton?
It just depends on the project. If it's a personal project or something like that, you definitely need either the ability to develop it or a connection. Like I said, I started out with mostly doing agency work, and they either had their development team in place. But it's tricky because user experience permeates, even like sales and marketing and email campaigns and like follow-up drip emails. Even like when you get into like designing the user interface and the composition and the layout of the buttons and the typography, that is very specialized in UI, but it's like a layer of skin on top of the UX. So it's tricky to isolate only UX design because it covers all these other. But I think of it more in terms of just planning for content, organizing content, and breaking it down into features and flows and potential use cases for potential users. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm just rambling here.
No, it's good. Did you go to art school? I'm sorry, I missed the first part.
Yeah, I went to the University of Georgia. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in graphic design.
See, that's probably money well spent too. I'm serious. Like all the fundamentals, color theory, and picking fonts and typography, like all the fundamentals you've carried from your Flash days, print, flat, to web to here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, that's what I think. Because what else? Like I learned director in college, which we're not using today so much.
Yeah. But
my color theory classes are what carry over.
Yeah, color theory, and I don't know. I'm always torn on design school. Like I think it was good for me because when I was that age, I was kind of a lost cause. Like I didn't know what I was doing. So it was a good foundation for me. And I was able to take all of those principles into the UX world. Yeah,
no, man, that's good. And again, I learn the fundamentals, stick to the fundamentals, and because it's all fundamentals. Like I have to go back to that like all the time. Like even for this design, like where does your eye go initially, right? So I see this orb, so you need a primary read and then your secondary read, and so on and so forth.
And a lot of that becomes intuitive. Like I'm not sitting here thinking, I want this globe to be the primary focal point. But kind of in my subconscious, I know that I do want it to be because that's like where I would want people to play with that thing. And
I just know when a design is not working for me, it's because I have elements that are competing.
Yeah.
Like I can make colors, like I do harmonious designs, but it's when they're fighting, and that's what clients tell you to do. It's like I want this, and I want this to be important to you as a designer. You'd be like, no, you need one message.
Yeah.
And then a secondary message. We need one action on this screen. This is a good flow. Click. We go into the various screens, and it's made things much simpler.
And to go off of what Mitch is saying too about how he wants to get better at UI and UX as well, I think one of the best ways to get better at UI is like find an app that you really like, take a screenshot, pop it over into XD, and just redesign it. One of the first things you do as an art major, if you're in a drawing class or a painting class, beyond just getting used to the tool and getting comfortable with the material, it's like pick a painting and try to recreate it. And a lot of like early painters would have apprentices that would, have them copy their work and try to get used to doing that. And it is a double-edged sword because you can get into the copying route and you don't want to publish someone else's work as your own, but I think it's a great way to keep it private and learn, you know, just the right drop shadow, you know, 1 pixel to the Y coordinate and a 3 pixel blur, and what is the opacity 50% or is it 10%, and trying to match those little pieces as exact as you can. That's a great way to get better at UI, and then you start realizing, oh, okay, maybe some horizontal padding on the sides of a button is better than, you know, a full 10 pixels all the way around. A lot of times it's a little bit better to have it a little wider. So you'll start to pick up little things like that as you do more and more, and it's really just getting on.
And so this is a good segue into basically our contest. Chelsea submitted this yesterday because, as you mentioned, that it's like, hey, you know what? This is like, what would Facebook look like on Utopia? But I like that she did her own take on, you know, Instagram, Facebook, and there's a translator in here. But she's just having fun, I hope. I hope that's what these contests do.
Yeah.
We want to give you something, but we just want you to get started someplace. Next thing you know, this ends up in your portfolio is the idea.
That's right.
And then somebody's, you know, paying you to do this sort of work. So shout out to Chelsea. We also have the contest going on. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and settle on Utopia. Not settle for, but settle on Utopia, right?
Claim your land.
Put your stake down. Say, I want a, whatever that is.
A flag.
I was gonna, or like do that. What does a house look like?
You get you know, an address, some street names.
How long? This is interesting. Yeah, this is fascinating to think about.
Do you dig a hole to live in, or do you build a building to live in?
Yeah, do you have a building? What if a day lasts 200 Earth days? And then you sleep for, I don't even know if that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, do you rent a sleep pod for 3 months as you sleep? I don't know. I don't know. So this is the idea.
Yeah, my brain is spinning now with, would I want to stay awake for 300 days?
That's a good question.
We'll let you guys ponder that.
Yeah, where do you guys want to, what's the perfect living situation if you were to settle somewhere? What would that look like? I'm always kind of curious. Like, I like Colorado because we have seasons and things change and it gets cold and it'll get hot, and I just like, you know, when a year passes. I feel like living in California, sometimes you don't know that a year passed because the weather is very even keel the whole time.
Unlike in Georgia, it's very seasonal. It's like, it's freezing cold in the winter, steaming hot in the summer, and the spring and the fall are amazing. And so it's always very predictable.
Yeah. So that's the contest. We'll build out these screens. I also want to know if I think it's a good question. If you had to move out of Athens, where would you move to?
Oh man, we really like San Diego.
San Diego. That's good.
We like San Francisco. I don't know. That's a whole different. We could have a whole show. Tune in after 1 o'clock, and we'll have a whole show.
Laura lives in Columbia. Are you in Columbia, Laura? Because that's where I would move to. Again, in this
North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Any Pablo fans from back in the day? I don't know.
So yeah.
All right. Should we get started on designing a few things?
Let's design some stuff.
All right.
I want to know where people want to move to. Yes, Laura lives where I want to live in Columbia.
North Carolina.
That's what my Utopia would look like. Something like that, because it's super tropical. And
I think my Utopia is being able to teleport many different places. I think that's why I like living in Athens, because the cost of living is pretty cheap. And I can, you know, justify traveling more, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good place to be. Petty Pablo, is that what you said?
Petey Pablo, yeah.
Petey
He's
Pablo?
like Kendra knows what I'm talking about.
Natasha does.
Natasha, yep. I didn't think it would be appropriate for me to tell everyone to take their shirts off, but because that's the next line of the lyrics. But Kendra and Natasha know what I'm talking about. Okay, so what are we gonna do here, Paul? We're gonna
what do we have going on? So we have activities, which is what we worked on yesterday. The assignment today is sort of settling. So maybe are you picking houses or whatever? Could be
Yes.
You know, like for this, we can come up with more activities and build out those activity screens. We can do a reward screen, and then we can also do like sort of find a place to live. So choose a house, rewards,
right.
and then obviously there's more activities which we can do.
So would you want to maybe, I think one thing that would be interesting is just to show how we can reuse some of these components.
Totally.
You know, when you're designing an app, and if you have a similar kind of method of choosing something, you always kind of want to consider abstracting the component. Instead of, I'm choosing like for these, for example, instead of I've got this carousel and I'm choosing robots and this is the robot choosing mechanism, it might just be more of a carousel, and we could duplicate all of this content and use it for choosing a home or choosing an apartment. So maybe
I like that.
Maybe you could grab some images of houses,
Totally,
or apartments, or bunkers, and then all of you can come up with some names, some like fun names of places to live. Kind of like what we did with the Valley of No Autosaves, but maybe something with a personal touch.
Yeah.
That you would want to live there.
That sounds
something
good.
like that.
Yeah. Do you feel old now? Kendra's like the PD Pablo song came out 16 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Ha ha ha. I don't even know this. I don't know the song.
It's like, North Carolina, come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Twist it around your head. Spin it like a helicopter.
Keep going, man. Like
that's all I know. If I knew more, I would give you more. We'll play it. Maybe play it at some point. Maybe Gus will set that as a background for us.
I wish, man. We'd have to pay
some rights.
PD Pablo. PD Pablo. We'd have to pay him some rights. But yeah, this is gonna be fun, man. I love it.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do.
Places to live. And I'm just going to start syncing
Paul's
these.
going to sync some stuff. I'm going to duplicate all of these screens.
I'm in the process. I'm selling my house, so that's why this is interesting to me. I'm going to be moving, so I'm like, oh, I like this house. I'm totally syncing it.
Nice. All right, so I've just selected all of these screens, and I'm going to option drag them down here. Sometimes when I have different features, I like to kind of clean up my artboards here, and a lot of times just to keep myself understanding of where the document is, and if I'm working with other designers, I might just put like a big title. Let me make this giant so we can see it, and make it dark. Let's go with black. And so a lot of times I will just put this here, and I might say like these are the home screen flows, or maybe this is robot fighting.
Oh, I like this.
And then I might bring this down here and say this is, you know, like choosing a place to live, find a home or something like that. That way when I zoom out, I can just see where all of those features are, and I can see like, all right, this is where this flow is going to be.
Yeah, and so just to recap, yeah, this is perfect. We did robot fighting yesterday, built a home screen on the first day. Today the theme's all about settling, so we're going to do find a home. Even though we all have the PD Pablo song stuck in our head now, apparently.
That's right. I'm pretty sure it's explicit, otherwise I would play it. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been 16 years ago, guys. Give me a break.
It's good stuff.
All right, so we're gonna go down here. All right, I'm still looking for home names like Spacious Sunrise Cottage or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good one. You are all much better at naming things than me right now. I'm just gonna delete these kitten photos.
All right, Mitch.
Here.
Then it's Mitch Smith. If you work at a rocket factory with legit rocket scientists, good to know.
All right.
We're talking future living here.
Galaxy.
I feel like we're gonna have things around kittens still, just because
we can do. I mean,
screen.
if we want to keep it kitten, we can. I'm just gonna put these in as I see them. Galaxy Way.
Pixel
Matthias
Valley.
wants more XD tricks.
Yep. Don't worry, we have plenty for you, man. Matthias, I will say, taking advantage of the UI kits. There's one called Wireframes in there, and the new the Assets panel. It used to be called Symbols, now it's Assets. Super dope. So there's lots of tips in there, and we'll get to that. Ooh, Orion's
belt.
No, it needs to be. What's another? Oh, right.
Catgrass Knoll. That's a good one.
Could be Orion's. Wasn't it? Isn't it a green belt? What's the? Anyway, Meteor Hole.
All right, I'm gonna
start collecting all these.
You're collecting. You guys are putting some names. You all. I'm trying to break myself saying guys all the time.
Me too.
You all. Sorry about that. I'm gonna show Matthias and everyone else another little XD trick that I like to do. So if I've got, sometimes these prototypes can get out of hand if you're, especially if you're designing everything from one point of origin. One thing that I really like to do is create a little, and actually I'm gonna pull up an old file so I don't have to redesign this. Here is a file from a client project, and you can see that all of these are broken up into different feature groups, and there's just like a ton of prototype flows that I made, and it's hard to make that one app be a part, and show every flow from one like home screen, and like rebuilding the entire app is kind of hard to do, and it's not really recommended that you link every single thing and make it work like a regular app. So what I like to do is create a screen like this, like a prototype screen. I'm gonna copy and paste that into here. And then what I can do now is use this as almost like a prototype home screen. So I can say, okay, my onboarding is gonna be, to see the onboarding flow, I might link it from here, which this might not be actually even be part of the app. It might just, this is just kind of like a prototype.
I like
app
it.
within the app.
Gotcha.
So you're kind of, and then you can even, I think this is a repeat grid. Let's see, I need to make this iPhone 10, so it already is.
Kitty, catty, chatty hut.
So this one might be robot fighting. This one might be choosing a home. And,
I like it.
Write a description. A lot of times I will share this link with a client and say, okay, this is not part of the app, but this is how you can view the different flows inside of XD. And so I can send it to them, and you're almost creating an experience of, it's kind of like a game within a game, if that makes sense, because I'm also saying like, hey, click this logo in the top left of any of the subsequent views to return back home. And this was like a little client logo.
I like that.
We could even put, since I've got Paul here.
Paul.
Come here, Paul.
That was all you, man. You were the clever one there.
And so now on this view, I can hit Command Tab. Oh, wrong shortcut. Command tilde, is that it? No, that's File. What is, Control Tab, that's right.
You're bouncing between the...
Control Tab will bounce you between design and prototype. You gotta learn the shortcuts.
So this XD file that you have right now, this was for a client?
Yeah, this was some client work.
Yeah, I think this is fun to look at, by the way.
All right, let's check it out. This was a crazy project where I can't remember how much time is left on the NDA, but I'll give you, I'll try to not to spoil it too much. It was like setting cameras to monitor things, and the cameras would relay information to a server, and you had to use a phone app to connect the camera to the server. So it was very disjointed and it was kind of crazy. And so I designed all of this in a spreadsheet first just because it was so crazy. I had to anyway.
Wow.
So this was like the first time user experience where you literally had to set up an account before it worked. So this is showing like all the different required fields. Oh, and another tip for Matthias and anyone else. One thing that I really like to do for a developer or for a client is put these little like circle numbers in here for annotations. I just create a symbol and then you can change that number to whatever you want and the symbol is the same. And then down below, I make a little footer called annotations, and then I just keep track, like if I need to annotate it without getting too crazy, without having a big PDF of annotations, I can say, okay, both options direct user to the dashboard. So right here, if I save it or if I skip for now, this is going to take the user to the dashboard.
Okay.
And so that's just a way to let the developer know what action needs to happen or the client. And so right now we have get started, create all of your assets. So this is going into different flows, save the asset to the user account. And so if you get lost in this prototype, you can always just click the logo and go back and say, oh, what about the settings?
How long did it take you to make this? Or like
this project took a couple of months.
Okay.
And that was the design.
What was the hardest part about this?
The hardest part was just learning what their product did and translating that into a design. Because like at the end of the day, it becomes easier to draw a box with a button. Once you learn the principles of UI design, I mean, it's not easy because even sometimes when I start a new design, even this Utopia design, there's things about it that I'm like, this should look better. I need some more time with it. But I think the hardest part about UX design, and back to even what Mitch was asking about, just learn, like talking to the client about what they're gonna do, how this product is gonna work, and also like asking tough questions about why it's gonna do that or why they want it to do that, because oftentimes they present you with a solution, which you could take it and design against that, but I think the best designers and the best results come from when you really challenge the solution that's already been presented, and even your own solutions, and say, is this helping serve that particular person in the best possible way? And so I think we had conversation after conversation, and I put this big spreadsheet together to get them to have some buy-in along the way. Like, this is kind of what I'm thinking of this flow, and the more you can get them to agree with you and feel like you're working on their team and having them involved in some of those decisions up front goes a really long way. I really didn't even have to have them approve anything because I was just getting approval along the way. And I'm like, here's the website based on everything that we've already agreed upon. And they're like, okay, yeah, this looks great. So yeah, I could keep on rambling, Paul. You gotta stop me.
Okay, no, this is good because I mean, this looks very complex. It's like, whoa, and it looks awesome.
Look at those blue lines.
Look at those blue lines.
It's like an alien.
Yeah, just wrapping your head around this. This is right, and then just like, hey, does this make sense? Yeah, man, that is big time.
They even have these cameras that detect the heat on a piece of machinery, and they measure the pixel color hex code and have it mapped to a temperature.
Wow.
And then that produces alerts inside of the app that something's overheating or not.
Wow.
Like how to handle like these heat anomalies.
Wow. I love all these little tips though. Even this whole idea of having these annotations.
Yeah.
This is really how you deal with a very complex app. Right?
Yeah, totally.
And what I would say here is to use, you could have maybe even, and yeah, we could switch to mice right over here. So you could use something like wireframes, because it really doesn't matter what this looks like right now.
No, it really doesn't.
And you didn't know about, this is a little bit newer.
Well, I guess I've been doing wireframes for a long time, and so for me personally, it's quicker to create what I need from scratch. than it is to copy and paste. I think if you're starting out and you just want to get something incredibly fast, like this is really good. But I definitely, and I'm also a stubborn OG designer in a sense, and I just like to make my own stuff a lot of times. And it probably would have been quicker, but some of this stuff has to be so customized that it's like, okay, I can either fiddle with another existing like repeat grid, or I can just like bang mine out real quick.
Yeah.
And so you just have to use some judgment, some wisdom about whether this is going to be faster, because it's not always doing it from scratch is better or using a wireframing kit is better. It just depends on the situation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Even for something like what I'm doing today with Utopia, like it could be quicker to use this wireframing kit.
Yeah, and so I was just kind of showing that even once you have this, wireframing kit has...
You pretty much change the entire look of that thing.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate.
All it is, right-click, edit. Same thing for character styles, wherever that's being used. Right-click, edit, and you can change it. Damien Borba is in chat. Good to see you, buddy.
Damien in the house. What's going on?
Yeah, so he is sort of the community manager, an all-around fantastic guy for XD. So he's also the guy that you can maybe try to pry information out of.
That's right.
Because he was with us 2 weeks ago and was talking about some cool things about kind of like what's coming, stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So
indeed. All right.
Yeah, character styles. By the way, all of this panel, and Damien knows it, starting to sort of label all these is one of the requests, as we know, because I don't know the difference between these different aerials. Is this the header?
One's bold 20, one's regular 30. Or
I know, but I like header, screen headers, something like that. So
yeah, I'm gonna just create my prototype screen here.
Yes, character styles. Symbols are really smart too, because you were using that for your annotations. So basically the number could be different, but they're all connected to the symbol, so they all look the same.
That's right. I could even...
Managing assets coming soon, Damien says. Awesome.
Oh, I'm not in design mode. I might even... just for fun, I'm going to put a little annotation in here.
And I saw a question earlier, I don't know if it's Laura or someone. So CC libraries, that's a new feature as well. And so you can bring in elements from your library. You can see that right here. And all I did is go to File, Open CC Libraries. You can see all these are all the ones that I'm giving to Matt. He's going to be able to take these and drop them in. And once you drop them in, they are going to have this little icon right here, which essentially says, hey, you know what, I'm linked back to that library. So if I make changes to it, it's going to update within XD, but it's not searchable, FYI, and there's active development going on in this area. Damien said that we're working on vectors as well, because that's definitely something we want to be able to have. Yeah, how much time left to submitting the prototype? Yes, 45 minutes. So I'm going to be checking that out on a regular basis as you submit your prototype based on settling on Utopia. Not settling for it, because it's a fantastic place to live, but actually living there. So good thing to do is like sort of picking properties sort of thing. So yeah, it's also on the contest tab. So if you're in chat, just click contest. Those are all the details, and I'll be checking that out soon. In fact, I'm going to do that right now.
All right, we got number 1 up there. Change this to number 2. And then down here, whenever I'm doing annotations, it's not very common that I would annotate UI designs. A lot of times that's done in the wireframing phase, but I want to choose a color, at least if I am annotating the UI, I want to make sure that, this is kind of a very contrasty color that doesn't quite look like it's part of the UI. I don't want people to get confused and think that this 1 and the 2 is part of the design.
Okay.
Let's see here. Might even put a shadow on this thing.
And I want to make sure I'm answering that question. How do you add content to a CC library? I'll show you really fast. Here I am in Photoshop. Could be Illustrator, really could be anywhere. Here's my CC library off to the side. Oop. All I need to do is drag this image into that CC library, and now it's going to be synced accordingly as I go into XD, opening up that CC library, and you can see it syncing right now and appears. And what I've been doing, it's even easier than that, because I've actually just been using stock, Adobe stock, and as I find this cool place, I could just save a preview of it, because we're not sure if we want to purchase it, but I've just saved that preview to that library as well. So libraries everywhere. Like, you'll never see my desktop because I just throw everything in CC libraries.
All right, so I'm just making some annotations here. Whoops. So this one is for number 1, which was on top of Paul's head. So I might just say something here like prototype only, tap to return to main prototype screen. Right. And number 2. Excuse me.
Kevin, you said you saw a demo of me of using a phone app to turn pics into that is Adobe Capture. Adobe Capture CC. Will allow you to. You're right there, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good.
You okay?
I'm just getting choked up because I know we're going to end soon.
I know. I was like, it's getting to you.
Starting to cry a little bit more.
Right here. So Adobe Capture will allow you to capture vectors. So if I draw something or I see something, I can capture that as a vector graphic. It will do patterns. Oh, so awesome. It'll detect a font. So cool. Might have to show it. Thank you, Laura. You're right. Adobe Capture does rule. It'll even capture materials. I can capture the texture of these socks and bring it into Adobe Dimension if I want to. All sorts of fun things.
All right.
That's good.
All right. I think what I've done in the past, you can also, so if this is like a longer text field, I like to create, so this entire thing, just select all of that and hit Command K and create a symbol of the annotations. And so that way for any of these other screens, let's go here, make this screen a little longer and drop in the annotations here. And I might put a 1 here and a 2 there. Whoops, that changed the opacity.
See how the content, yeah, is sort of independent from the style, if you will.
Yeah, just like Repeat Grid, we can change the content out. Symbols work the same way.
You could always break it. You can even update all of them just by right-clicking on that item. Yes, Courtney, Adobe Capture is rad. Mitch, looks like you captured multiple colors from the sunset last night. And it really is amazing. So when you're capturing colors, it will get... If I captured colors in this beautiful room, which has these gorgeous windows out onto the bay, it captures that same intensity of color. So everything just matches and looks good, which is what I like. Okay, Damasio, you're late. Oh, you got some catching up to do. Thanks for joining us, though, buddy. Appreciate having you here. Oh, yeah, I might use that, maybe. So, yeah, so just kind of recap what's going on. Matt's doing amazing work in XD, building out an app. You can also enter a contest just by selecting the contest tab. So if you want to follow along there's that as well. Settling on Utopia. Whatever that means.
Do we have, did you get those?
Oh, no, I don't. What? Oh, the images? Yeah.
The images, are they there?
I put them in, so I've just been syncing some.
All right, they're probably in here then.
To the library.
So
but
I'm just going to take these.
I should probably, oh, that works.
Just something quick, just to change it out.
Cool. If you want more of a list view, I can always put them in the Creative Cloud Files folder.
No, that's totally fine.
And curious as to if you're, there we go, cool. Thanks, but sorry, Kay Damasio. She's like, thanks, but I'm a girl. Sorry. But yeah, so just curious if it is your first time watching us today. I want to give you like a virtual hello. I don't know, actually a real hello, virtual hug. Something like that. We'll also do random giveaways. So in about 10 minutes, we're going to give away some... Can we give away the socks? That's the plan. Let's do that. Can we do the socks? Is that all right? Are we gonna? Can we give away socks? All right. Adobe Live team says we can give away these XD socks since we are working in XD, and the Adobe Live team is like, oh, a lot of a manual process when it comes to these physical objects, shipping these out. That's why we have a team of 30 on the Adobe Live team, and they're all named Gus, 1 through 30. One's human, the other 29 are robots.
People want those socks.
Want damn socks. They're only slightly used. I was wearing one this week. Matt was wearing the other.
I have the other one.
Yeah. But that's going to happen in about 9 minutes. So I'm good to hear that everybody's getting excited. Oh, Kay, what is your first name? Did I just call you Kay? That works too. Oh, there we go. Karen. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Karen? Karen? K-A-R-I-N-E? Where are you from, Karen? Always curious. Your exact address, too, by the way. Just kidding. Don't put your exact address. Even when you're making addresses for settling on Utopia. Maybe then you use a, I don't know, make up a real address. Does that make sense? Make up a real address? No. I have some places, too, when you're ready for that.
Almost. Almost. I'm going to try to see if I can give another tip here. All right, another XD tip. I hope everybody's ready for this. It's something pretty subtle, but it's something that it works in XD and also a lot of other programs like Illustrator and Photoshop and, you know, basically a lot of other programs. So say that I'm trying to recreate this header here as a symbol because I have all these screens and I want Paul's image to be on the left so I can have that as a way to get back to the prototype. And so I'm creating this bounding box because I want that to be the parameters of the symbol. And so I can set it back. I can set it back here, but obviously I don't want it white, and I don't want it black either because I want that as a symbol to work on other backgrounds and maybe have some transparency. So I've deselected the border, but if I deselect the fill, it's hard to actually go back and select that object without finding it in the layers panel. Mm-hmm. I can grab it there, but it's hard to actually select it. Mm-hmm. So instead of deselecting the fill, leave that selected, mm-hmm. and then just reduce the opacity to 0%. Yeah. And now you can actually click it on the canvas, mm-hmm. and you don't have to go to your layers panel.
That's good. So you could do that for, like, say, buttons that seem really small.
Yeah, even if it's a text button, because everything, whether it's web or a mobile view, typically there's going to be like a box model of sort, and so everything is kind of a box. And so even for this arrow, which these vectors are going to get chosen, but if you wanted a larger tap area, you could do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And that's like a Flash tip, by the way. Didn't you do that in Flash?
Yeah, I just do that in Flash all the time.
Yeah.
So now I can select all of these objects. and make a symbol. And it's just a little easier.
Or otherwise known as Adobe Animate.
That's right. Pour one out for it.
I would literally pour this on my keyboard. Good question, Laura. That's for Adobe Live Team, but you can't change to all caps in XD. What you can do is you can change from point text, so like title text, to area text.
Which I just learned yesterday, actually.
Yeah. Everybody's learning.
Title text. That never
goes.
Wraps.
Yeah, wraps.
Into a next line. Or does it?
Boom, click. I will say going back, though, this is the only thing. So now go back, and now what it obviously did is...
It remembers the line breaks.
It remember the... Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I mean...
That's what you want it to do. That's what I would want it to do in this case.
You just have to learn the constraints and work with them.
Thank you, Cyril Gadara. We are waiting for that to come through. Correct me if I'm wrong, Adobe Live Team, but I don't think we have any entries just yet. Just Cyril's. Cyril's, you were number 1.
Right
your
now,
chances...
You have a 100% chance of Cyril winning.
Yeah, you're 100% chance of winning right now. First one to submit.
So we'll just throw up the Cyril 1 marquee until somebody else submits.
Because look at this. Look at all these other entries. I'll just show you this. This is the magic spreadsheet. We switched it. Yeah. Look at all these entries we got. Look right here. Your name here. All right, does that work?
You need to put Cyril's name in there.
Yeah. Oh, there you are. Look, he's in the system.
Oh yeah.
Winner? Maybe. So feel free. You'll win 1 year of Creative Cloud, and a big congratulations, Cyril number 1. Usually what happens is we end up with a flood of them at the end of the hour, and we gotta get them in now. If you need to change the text later, you can always do that.
Actually, we're not even using this screen. I'm going to delete it.
Pretty good odds today.
I love that whenever you're changing these prototypes around, that it just is so cool to see the lines stay the same, you know, like wherever you wanted to put that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always going to work to have your return prototype home in the top left. For example, this screen right here that slides over. So I might put all there, or you know, I could have even said sometimes you can utilize that kind of status bar area and say back to prototype up here.
Okay.
So what I've done with Paul's avatar, like that actually might go to a profile screen or something, so it might not be the best place to put return to prototype, but I'm just gonna keep going with it for now.
Well, that works.
All right, let's see if this is working right.
I'm testing something really fast too.
Utopia. There's got to be a play on words between prototype and utopia.
Prototype.
Protopia type.
Prototypia.
Proto.
Tilapia.
Prototilapia. That's perfect, Paul.
Chelsea Skinner, when is this stream over? Never. We're here the whole... No, actually, 5 p.m.
For the next 300 days.
This particular one is an hour. We're an hour away. We're going to get a little choked up. Proto-tilapia. I love it. Prototypia is good too. I like it. Ryan and Ayla. Oh, are you leaving? All right, Shauna X is out, everybody. See you. Miss you already. No. No, thank you, Shauna. She was up. That's the first 2 hours. So keep in mind, she's been with us for 3 days. Those are actually all being recorded and available for viewing later. When you maybe if you're going through withdrawals or something, you can just watch. Is that what you're gonna do, buddy? You're gonna be like,
I'm gonna go back and rewatch.
Just watch, just like a little. I just see a little tear.
I know.
This weekend, tear.
All right, so now we can see these little 1 and 2 annotations. If we keep scrolling down, I've got this. If I had white screens, I might do a dark reversed annotation, but you know, it just gives the ability to show what's going to happen. I did another one on this screen, so the annotations here. It's kind of a little way to hack annotations, even though it's not technically a feature.
Yeah.
And then I've got Paul's little avatar going back to the Proto-tilapia home screen. And now choose a home. We got Galaxy Way here. I need to change some of this content, but and also show like how to actually get to that from maybe the home screen.
Oh yeah. So we need a list.
We might need to bring in our tab bar here. I thought I had one somewhere. I'll have to open up my iOS GUI template.
GUI. Is this yours that you made? No, this is the iPhone.
Yeah, I downloaded it straight off of
Let's
Apple.
go with it. Like, yeah, I made this. All right. Can you show the prototypes directly from the phone? You can, yeah. We've been doing that all along. Yeah, if we could hook that up. Look at you, mister.
Oh, yeah. And
that works.
We'll see, like, both of these here. So we've got our home screen here. This is kind of a fun little, like, camera scene change. So we've got robot fighting. And we can scroll through here. And also, I just love pointing out, like, look how fast that is. Like, you can see my screen and it moving around on the phone. There is no lag. This is the best part about the mirroring setup. It is just like butter.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet, man. So you've had that. It's funny because you've had that plugged in the whole time.
Yeah,
so.
I'm constantly looking down at this while we're designing.
And even, yeah, it's good. Yep.
Oh, that's funny. The yellow is totally thrown off by the GoPro.
Oh yeah, it is. But this is good to just even be able to see the colors on your iPhone.
Yeah.
And if those buttons are big enough, looks like they are. Looks like everything's working.
Fight. Dun 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 dun.
All right.
That's a Mortal Kombat song right there.
All right.
Yeah.
Paras is working on a Utopia prototype. Good to hear. That's why you have not been active in chat. All good. Good to hear. That's going to go down in about 30 minutes. But the planet revolving, I know you just want to like spin that planet. You know, you just want to like.
You know, I almost used a screenshot from globekit.co. A friend of mine in his company in Salt Lake City makes this.
Oh, really?
And this looks awesome. Look at that.
Wow.
If you want to see a spinning globe, just go to that website and check it out. It's awesome.
Wow. globekit.co. And you can you can just plug this in.
Yeah, it's kind of like their own custom package for websites and apps.
Sweet. I feel like this is right. We can get some good inspiration here.
That's right. All right, so I'm gonna get my tab bar here going.
All right, so yeah, shall we do a giveaway? Get their Adobe Live team. Let's do it.
They'll get the prints too. 3 prints and socks.
3 prints and the socks, as you can see right here. Robzilla, Jing Wei, as well as Christine Heron, who will be on later today for 3 to 5 PST. You're going to get all 3 limited edition posters dipped in gold. But also the socks included. So just be active in the chat right now, and let's get some hype going.
Get some hype beasts.
Being like, yeah,
in the chat.
Yeah, give me damn socks. Give me those socks. Hey. Woo, socks with an X. Fingers crossed. You will win both of them. Hype beast in the house.
Very active.
Cleveland and is that what I said? I don't know. It's going too fast.
If you see us staring blankly off in this direction, it's because we're looking at the screen of all the comments. So
I'm sure they're actually curious as to knowing what all of this looks like.
We can do a little vlog style here if we want to. I don't know if we want to do that right now.
I don't know, can we? Is that all right? Yeah, let's do it.
Did I just unplug the GoPro? Or is that already there?
Oh, yeah, we're looking good.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
Okay, so that's it's very Inception-like. There's the chat.
There are you.
Oh, look, and there's our winner. Good way to show our winner.
Ooh,
our winner is Courtney Chrysanda.
And Gus is a real person.
Yes.
Back there.
Oh, look at that.
There he is.
Yeah. Kathleen's over there as well. Yeah,
Mr.
Chris
Operator over there.
Yeah, enough about us, though. The big star is right here, Courtney. Let's just make sure you're in chat. Congratulations.
High five.
High five. Fantastic.
Nice.
All right. There you are. Hooray for you. Thank you, Courtney.
There's the studio tour Mitch has been asking for.
Yeah, sorry. I feel like I always build it up like it's going to be like really awesome, but
I think it's
fine.
Really awesome. I would appreciate seeing the behind the scenes.
Yeah, you are welcome. So what's actually on the other side of the studio is the Make It studio space. So you can always go to YouTube, search for Make It, but we've had you. There's an interview.
Yeah, if you want more on my background, search for Adobe Make It MDS or Matt D. Smith or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can watch, you can get
even
more
of
all
Paul
and myself.
Yeah, just
get
like
your fix.
They're like, oh, these 2 white guys, these 2 white boys wearing the same shirt. More of that.
I think we intentionally we actually had the same thing on that day, and we had to change because it was.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
You
brought like an extra shirt. So
yeah.
We both had on like a black T-shirt or something.
Yeah, help us all.
It's all good. All right, so I'm gonna get down to business here and put in a little tab bar. And we'll just do home for now. Actually, home for a home screen would be confusing if you were also searching for homes. So this is one of those UI conundrums where copywriting is, again, incredibly important.
Wow.
So it might just say feed here, even though it is like locations. And you're never gonna like nail this down on the very first try. It's always gonna be like, put in like some possible labels, let it sit for a while, test it out, go back, change it. It's good for this stuff to be fluid because you might end up with a different label right before you launch it or something like that. I don't know. A lot of times before I do a navigation, I like to design a lot of the screens, think a lot of the content, and try to organize it, and then think about what would be the most important thing to have on the first tab. This one we're just kind of running and gunning because we're making it up as we go, so it's not the standard process, but I'm just going to put the things that we have in here now. So we've got locations. We're going to have, and actually maybe these are points of interest. POIs, I don't know. Points of interest is kind of long. You definitely don't want text wrapping. Living on Utopia. I'm real big on using the same amount of words on each label as well. I mean,
that looks really good.
I don't want, 3 lines on here, but you never know. And maybe this is maybe we do living on Utopia here, and we have our teleportation button in the middle or something.
Cool. Very cool. I think I might have put one in there, but
Oh, in your library?
yeah, might be buried. It was on day one. Oh, it's not showing up. Okay, that's the. Let me.
Oh, is it because it's a vector?
Yeah, yeah. So that does happen. I will take care of it. All right. Destination. Oh, Kevin, that's a good point. So yeah, it could be destination's a good word.
Yep.
Utopia living. Courtney, thank you. Big winner.
Destinations. Could even say homes. It's better. That's better.
Oh, I like that 3. 1 word each. So yeah, we could use text. Good point. Masick says, do you use textiles for consistency? We could.
Yes, I do use that. I'm kind of sporadic all over the place right now, so I do use textiles. And honestly, like these could be 2 symbols, like with different textiles. So I don't like to get too organized too quickly between like the symbols and the textiles. If I try to organize that too quickly, I can find that to be constraining in my creativity.
Oh,
so I like to go,
and you don't want to get caught up too much in some
yeah,
of
and
that.
like you don't want to organize too much before when you're being creative. You're just duplicating screens over and over. Literally try 10 different screens with different color schemes, different textiles, before you start getting too meticulous about naming things. That's at least that's what works for me personally. And then after I've duplicated something like 4 to 5 times, then I'll think, okay, I need to go back, make a proper symbol out of this, and then put it back in place. That just helps me stay creative instead of so rigid in a system right out of the gate.
That's good.
I'm pulling up one of my favorite icon apps here called Nucleo. I think it's nucleoapp.com. It's just like a quick way for me to grab an icon. So I'm going to type in location 24 and just pick one of these guys here. Can I drag it over there? There we go. That's a little SVG.
You just did a copy paste?
I didn't even copy and paste. I just dragged it in.
Oh, sweet. Very nice. Nucleo. You're full of tips.
That's right.
Nucleo's the name. Probably may or may not cost something.
I think there's a free
I'm
version.
glad you, yeah. Because that's such a complex icon. No, I'm just joking this with you.
We could totally draw this.
Oh, I do want to point out, by the way. I'm actually
gonna
gonna.
This right quick.
Oh,
you can do yours.
Oh, you. Oh,
I can draw. You can draw this icon in XD.
yeah. Do it, because I.
All right, here we go. We got a circle. We're gonna make it this color. We're gonna hit return, or actually, we're gonna double click to get to these points. Double click that point to remove the Bezier. Pull that down. Maybe pull this. Actually,
I don't know. That looks pretty
good.
And now, so this isn't now. Do a. This is the part I like. And then.
All right, can you knock it out?
Yeah,
here?
this is the fun part. So select those 2.
All right.
Upper right.
Upper
right
right.
next to.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know these were in here now.
Boop. Now this is the cool thing too, because what if you didn't get that right into the center? You could move it. So the Boolean operations, whether it's add, subtract, like it doesn't remove that data.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
So I wonder, can you do this? Can you drag this on top of that in the layers? No, you can't.
Oh, maybe not.
But that's all right.
We'll get right on that.
But I do love having like icons with those layers inside of there.
See, that's good. You can kind of, it's like kind of peeking in.
Yep. Normally, if I was going to do a ton of icons, Illustrator is the vector crunching beast. But for simple stuff that doesn't require too much finessing, you can totally bust these out in here.
Yeah, I like it. All right, Mitch is going on a break, so we'll just stop right here. Stop right here till he gets back. All right, we can continue.
Okay, let's go.
Let's act like there's a freeze in the stream.
Yeah.
And it's fixed.
All right. Good job, everyone.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and, while you do that, because I think you got to grab some symbols and replace some of those icons. While you do that, I'll just review the 3 entries that I happen to have in from Cyril, Pankaj, and Anandu. So that's what I'm going to review right now. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Sometimes I click these buttons and I break things, so thank you, Chris. So this is Cyril, said he got his in. First person. Congratulations, buddy. Utopia. I love that icon. I like it's looking very clean. 12 screens. Let's log in. Settling is not the right word. I want to live. I want to feel alive there. But look at all these, every single option here is clickable. I like the stacking look at this as well. So we can come in and select, clicking through these different ones. Let's select this one. Underwater Circle Colony. It's cool. Pretty sweet. We can go to this menu option, go to the next screen. I actually don't know what this is like, how much, a list view of how much they cost, I assume. Basically comments. I'd write, hey, this is fantastic, Cyril. Last one, social media, and then contacting. So great job. There's also Space Colony in there. So that's Cyril. Good job, Cyril. 12 screens. I like the card view, and that you have a lot of it hooked up. Homes. Let's sign in since I'm new. Now let's go to the home screen. Go to different properties. Scrolling list. This is beautiful as well. Very.
Should I be looking at these, or should I?
No, you're good.
You
do your thing.
Right,
yeah, it's just our chance to kind of highlight what everybody is producing. So there's 3 so far. I will say that I don't know. I would almost want it to immediately go into the home screen rather than me having to click through, but it's still fantastic. Pankaj and Anandu, which he actually won the first day, I'm pretty sure. So submits another design. I like how large this is. Sort of larger experience. The core team running Utopia is actually run by some aliens too. Very cool. And run by Lord Commander. I love this. Lord Commander. Going back. Very nice screenshot. Could view photos as well. Oh, you can create a dome.
Check that out.
Isn't that nice? Yeah. Create a dome. So basically you're building out something, but there's these two sections. And you can not only view videos, but also view photos. So fantastic job. I'm going to click through these other screens just to make sure I have everything covered. Oh, look, even sticking with the same sort of like valley of autosaves.
I like it. Which reminds me, I should hit Command S. Done.
Kelsey, you are right. So Anandu did a fantastic job. I think we have 3 fantastic entries. So thank you so much.
Tip whenever we're
I think we're ready. Yeah. Thank you so much. Luca, we will look for yours here in a second.
All right. One more XD tip. And I actually just discovered this, so I want to share it. So we talked about how you can edit the colors and everything will change, you know, accordingly. But one thing I just did, I was trying to finish out this tab bar down here. And I accidentally left this as SF Pro text over there. And our font in the brief is the Brother 1816 or whatever it's called. And then I changed it, but it wasn't updating in here. And then I was like, oh man, I need to delete these. But I realized you can just hit edit right here and just go back and change it. And then it's going to update your UI.
Yeah,
so wherever you've already got the text style, which makes sense.
Right
I just
click.
didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So that one needs to go there. Right click this.
And okay, cool. Did you just do a click and drag to apply that?
I selected that one and then just clicked over there.
Okay, got it.
Select this and click that.
Okay, got it.
If I want to change. So if I want to take, I'm gonna make a okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy this. Another trick, another tip. I like to make like a dynamic version of this tab bar. I didn't mean to do that. Let's do iPhone X, iPhone 10. Put this here. And before I turn this into like a symbol, let's see, how am I gonna do this? Ungroup everything.
Yeah, so the character styles are linked. So
yes, indeed.
So link them initially, and then just make your changes, and it'll change everywhere.
All right, and so a lot of times these pixel dimensions for these tab bar icons are 24 by 24. So I'm gonna do my background at 0% trick. Actually, I'm gonna leave this at like 30 just so I can get this set up.
And you could, once that, yeah.
Whoops, don't need that. This will also help with your production of things. So I'm gonna have two versions of this. One where all of these are purple and active, and one where all of them are disabled, or not disabled, default, kind of disabled. Send that to the back.
We have James's entry in. Thank you, James. Chelsea.
Oops, wrong one. All right.
Thank you, Smile FX, for your submission, as well as Matthias.
Now I'm going to create a symbol out of these. Whoops. All right, so I've got all of these active and inactive symbols in there. And I'm going to say active, inactive. I didn't really have to do that. If you wanted it to be like really dynamic, you could create like active, inactive, inactive, and have all the different combinations that you would want to use. But since we're only doing these three, I'm not going to change it. Stick it in there like that.
All right.
These are in place. Do a copy of that.
Thank you for all the entries. If you need a second, I'd like to even go over
I'm
some of these.
I'm gonna keep making this thing here.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This is James's. As we switch over, James Mash's design. Diving in, Utopia. Explore our new settlements. Yes, let's select a settlement. I like how you did this, James. So this is technically a second screen that just has the drop down. So as you go through, here's Utopia City. We can find homes. See how I did that? Pop up. And these are all the homes in the area. All right. Ooh, this is super dope. I'll take it. And we can go through other properties. So James, you did a fantastic job. Great job, James. 10 screens, larger format. Next up, we have Chelsea's. So thank you, Chelsea. I'll just hit refresh because she might be updating it. We have Utopia Spacebook, like Facebook, where we can come in. Let's go ahead and search. Oh, Mork. I want to be friends with Mork, or Princess Beatrix, or Bob. This is great. Let's go back through these screens. All right, there we are. So we could also search places. Laundry is included with this, which laundry should be pretty easy in the future because we're all wearing one outfit.
That's right. We got the black unitard, and that's it.
That's great.
Infinite wealth. I hope the font is big enough today.
Oh, I like it. This is Smile Effects.
We had a little post live session interaction on Twitter. I'll tell him it's no big deal. It's an easy fix. I'm sure he got it taken care of.
Little convo happening. I like this. 2017, 2049.
Little Blade Runner reference there.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I think so. Isn't it Blade Runner 2049?
I think so.
This is interesting. I like experimenting with these shapes and everything. Mm-hmm. So, it's cool.
Timeline action.
Yeah. Pack your things because you have yeah. Reserve, pack, arrive, live in freedom. All right. So next up we have Matthias's. Let's sign up. Shop for properties, scrolling list. And go back. We can scroll down as well. Wow. That's really cool. Next up, we have Adrian's. Did we already see this one? Welcome back. Hey, thank you. Clicking through. All right, that's awesome. Adrian's, we'll get these narrowed down, and we'll switch back to you.
All right. Well, I got these tab bar icons.
Go to the restroom.
We've got these tab bar icons.
Hey, Kathleen.
Right in here.
Kathleen. Come over here.
So you can see I've got all these symbols now. If I want to place any of these symbols inside of another screen, then I can get in there and just put them down. So I've got this symbol here, and I copied it down for the home section. Now I'm just replacing some of these screens here.
Kathleen wants to see this, so I'm gonna let her sit in for a second. Is that cool? Go ahead and see.
Paul does not have to use the restroom. This is all about Kathleen wanting to see.
Paul's a robot.
The screens here.
I am not. Hi, Matt.
Hello, how are you?
Good, glad to be back.
Awesome to have you over here.
Thank you. Feel so intergalactic.
So I'm just trying to wire up more of this prototype here. I think I need to go ahead and start wiring. I need a teleport screen so I can wire the tab bars together.
Got you, got you.
So let's bring this way over here. call this teleportation.
So say I'm just jumping in and I have no idea what you're working on. I have an idea what you're working on, but say I don't.
Okay.
What are you working on?
I'm working on a Utopia iPhone app. You receive this app, even the phone. They give you a free iPhone 10.
I was
when you
gonna
get
say,
to Utopia.
yep, Mac only on Utopia.
That's right. And whenever you get here, you turn into Paul Tranny, and so you're up here.
The robot.
That's right. You can view all of your points of interest.
Got you.
You can spin this globe around and check out different places on the planet. And let's just say you're really into robot fighting. So you click on the robot.
Cool.
And this just so happens to be at the Temple of Infinite Kittens. So you can choose to kick some robot here. And you can choose any of these adorable kittens or
So
cat
cute.
robots to fight.
Are you fighting them or are they fighting each other?
You're fighting it.
Oh,
Yeah,
good thing I know karate.
that's right. So you activate your fight, put your phone in your pocket or in your holster if you're that kind of person.
You get a holster. It's
Yeah, you get a free phone
monogrammed and
holster.
everything.
Yeah, so then you fight and you have 9 lives. You have to defeat the robot 9 times. Get your meter
9
up there.
times?
Yeah,
Goodness.
it's unfortunate. So now we're duplicating those screens to show like how you could choose a home at Utopia.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna link up these tab bars and throw in a teleportation. You can also teleport any of these places you need to go to. So that's what we're gonna try to squeeze into the last 20-25 minutes or
Very
however long we
nice.
have.
Yeah, it looks like the contest might be ending soon. So maybe we need to get Paul Tranny back in here.
Come on back, Paul.
Teleporting away.
It's kind of fun, huh?
It is pretty fun. Thanks for the nutshell explanation.
You're welcome. Everybody give it up a virtual golf clap for Kathleen.
Thank you, Kathleen. I thought it'd be fun for you to see what Matt was working on. That's why I had you sit in for a second.
Next time I'll just hand you that.
Oh, man. No. It's never happened to me. It's funny that you were talking about that earlier, by the way.
I know. I'm right there with you. I'm going to hold out. All right, so let's link these up. Teleportation.
We have quite a few entries in now. This is looking good. Not quite ready to show them, but we have yours and Paulo, Demantas, Laura's, Paras, Shashank, and Nandu snuck in another one, or maybe just an update actually is what's happening. So everyone is good. So if you're curious as to what we're talking about, we have a contest tab, and we're going to be reviewing those submissions here in a second. But basically all about settling on Utopia. All right, so if you're in the market, if you're looking at moving, I think a place like Utopia sounds like a fantastic place. Thank you, Damuntas. Damumantas. Also curious if you're just joining us for the first time. Would love to know that as well. I'm recognizing a lot of these names. Laura submitted a design that is in a Behance project, which is cool.
All right.
Everybody's like working away is what's happening.
I know.
Like, Matt, you're trying to finish yours.
I'm designing. I've been talking too much. Or not enough. I don't know. You tell
No,
us.
perfect.
We can stop designing and talk more about PD Pablo.
Can you sing that verse again? How does it go?
You know what? I forgot since the last time I did it.
No, you didn't. It was like,
just-
Carolina, rise up.
That's it.
Oh, all
Take
right.
your shirt off.
Take your shirt off, whip it around your head. Something
Spin it like a helicopter.
Spin it like a... Oh.
We need Jason over here to help us sing.
Little PD Pablo, Jason.
You a PD Pablo fan?
I heard you talking about it earlier. Licensing rights.
I don't know.
So, that's Jason Levine's up. Next, Evan Abrams as well, doing some motion design, which is really fun to watch. So they will be up in about 25 minutes. Quite a few designs.
All right, another XD tip. Let's ring the bell. Ding 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 ding. So I need to link up this tab bar, but I don't want to link only the icon or only the text. And I did put that background. It's the same kind of background trick that I use for the icons. It's nothing too novel, but you know, it's worth pointing out that if you need to have some larger hit areas, you can make them. So I'm going to put this like 10% or 0% fill on the shape, and I'm going to duplicate it. Actually, you know what? You could use repeat grid for this. I'm going to make it a little bit darker so I can see it. Hit Command R and do that. It's good enough. It's not perfect, but we're running out of time here. And now I can just take that and put it inside of that symbol. And go back over here to all of these. These are all symbols, so I'm just gonna command click to get inside of that symbol and then paste it here. That one has it. Paste, and then I'm using Control Command arrow key to line that stuff up. So now all of these should have those hit spots that I can link up pretty easily when I go into prototype mode. So the home will go here. Teleport will go there. And I should be able to select this whole thing and paste it, and the link should kind of come with it. I should have linked up this one first. So this one will go back to the home screen.
You have just a quick time check. You have 3 minutes.
3 seconds. Okay, here we go.
No, you don't have
I'm
to.
just
You're
kidding.
good. 3 minutes to get in your designs. Give you a little bit more time today, so basically at 12:40 our time. 2 minutes now. We have quite a number. Don't worry, you can always join in the next stream and enter for that contest as well.
Another pro tip: whatever artboard you have selected, and then you hit Command Return, that's where the prototype's going to start. There is a home tab that if nothing is selected, it will default to that one. So I can click the artboard and click home right there, and that will be, if nothing is selected, that's kind of the default place that it will go from. But you can also override that by choosing an artboard, hitting Command Return.
And then you're there.
So
You're in it.
these should work now. Teleport, homes. There we go. We got a little tab bar.
I like it.
Although my teleport icon is not lined up, so that would definitely need to be fixed. But
Oh, I see. It's shifting.
yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of messed up.
You know, now,
I rushed it, Paul.
you're good. Everybody is rushed. Right about now. All right. Yes. Thank you so much, Gus, or the Adobe Live team. All 50 of them, led by their fearless leader,
That's
Gus,
right.
who's compiled all the submissions that we're going to start looking
Kevin is joining us maybe a little late, or maybe you missed it, but this guy Kevin Worth. The yellow numbers are
yeah.
actually, or maybe I don't know if he's talking about these numbers or
I think, yeah.
these numbers.
Recap those, because I think that was smart.
These are the annotations I put in here. Assuming you're talking about these numbers. I just annotated these files. So if I wanted to say this tapping this item will go back somewhere. Number 2 is kind of saying what's going to happen. So this is a way to kind of hack the screen so you can give developers or clients, a little bit more information about your thought process behind the designing.
Yeah, so
of the UI.
Yeah, client-specific stuff, which is
Kevin's
awesome.
been here for a while. Did you miss the annotation spiel? I'm assuming that's the that's what you're talking about. But yeah, that's what I did.
All right, so let's review some of these designs.
Okay.
It is time. So, quite a few tabs open, and essentially where we're going to start, this should be... Okay, this is Paulo's design. Utopia settlement. Let's take a look at this Utopia settlement. First of all, I like the colors. I think color scheme, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to comment.
Living la vie Utopia.
Let's find a home. Ooh.
One little quick note, you definitely want to be careful with the ultra fine, ultra light typefaces. It starts to wash out a little bit with especially in the top and the teal area. Sometimes that can be a little bit too fine.
Good call. Looks like Evan is the sales agent for this place.
Evan, your asking price is outrageous.
You gotta work with us
Who
here.
is that guy?
Oh, there we go.
Oh my
Matt.
gosh.
Work with us here, Matt. Work with us. This last one. Shauna, there you are. Oh, I like how they made it personable. Colors, A number 1. Good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Let's go to the next up. We have Damantas Banyas. Oh, I like the color scheme. Actually, this design works with our intro videos. So
it does.
Do you care about others? Yes, I do. Do you want to change your life for good? Yes, I do. Do you want to live in a real utopia? Yes. Awesome.
Type in your email.
Yeah.
We've got there we go.
Right on. So a little
wizard there.
A little wizard. And I like this design.
It's cool.
So Laura, this is a Behance project. I'm following you, Laura. And let's dive into this.
Welcome. Enter your name.
Right there.
Oh, welcome, Paul. It knew you right away.
Oh, wow. Let's go through these. Ooh.
It actually is good to, if you can tap into something that your client likes or something that would make them smile and put it into the prototype, that's always going to get you a little extra points when you're reviewing designs.
Yeah, it is really cool. So, and then you can create your home. So
nice.
This is cool. What Laura did is you get an embed option when you publish, and she put it in her portfolio. Fantastic job, Laura. Let's go up next. Paras. Ooh, Utopia. Discover people. I can sign up. There we are. All right, so I like this.
That's cool.
Gordon Davis.
I like that. Chase Jarvis is there.
Is that who that was
Pretty
earlier?
sure that's Chase Jarvis right there.
No, I think that's
looks like Chase Jarvis.
What's his name? He was on Limitless.
Oh, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, I think that's Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, they're way different people.
There is, I guess, Bradley Cooper. Oh, it's good. I like it. I like that this is a little bit different than some of the others, and I just like this visual view.
I like it too.
Sweet. So next up we have, that was...
Let's check out that horse.
For us. This is...
I might pass on that horse ride.
Shashank. A utopian horse ride. This horse.
Wow.
I love it.
I mean, it's actually awesome, but it's scary.
dip in utopian waters.
With a half of a pizza floating on top.
Pizzas float in
this
Utopia.
Is dystopia.
We'll click to that one in a second. Anandu sent
Still
us.
a good job. The design looked good.
Yeah. Matthias. Oh, good. We get to see yours. This is fun. Matthias.
Azure base.
Let me actually refresh because I think I actually clicked through this earlier. Oh, no. Looks like his home screen is this one. Let's click home.
Maybe he tagged 3 of 5. I don't know.
I think you're right, like you're talking about.
Utopia.
Ooh, you could cave or castle. City core, the cave, the burrows. Let's go to
tile action.
city, cave.
There you go.
You could live in a cave or the burrows.
Oh, you can save it. I think there was a heart.
Oh.
Click on that heart.
Oh, there we go. Boop.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, sure.
Saved it.
Yes. Fantastic. And Anandu sent through an XD file, and I think we already saw this earlier, his design, but quite a few entries. Let me actually just make sure I have the right one. It's this one right here. Gave me the actual file. So, again, a lot of work went into this.
Yeah, that's...
Right?
Been working on this for like a couple weeks here. I mean, this is a lot of work.
This is legit. And again, we already reviewed this one, but just shout out to the amount of work. Create a dome, and then there's the various properties that you can get into. Also viewing the, videos as well as...
Look at that strategist resourcer.
I love this. The defense minister. External affairs. Ridley Scott approves, James. You are correct. So, Anandu, thank you so much. The hard part is sort of getting all of these narrowed down, but let's do it. So I'm going to kind of... We'll just keep this one open. I think this is definitely strong. This one has 10 different properties, 10 different screens in it. So this is good. I like these large
This
format
is like
ones.
the Utopia Zillow.
Yeah, exactly. That actually makes a lot of...
Maybe when your house sells, you can move to Utopia.
Utopia Spacebook. Very cool. Thank you. This is Smile Effects. Did this one. Let's just refresh. They might have added more to it, but you remember this one. Nice design, and I like this
very
bar.
Oblivion.
Exactly.
I remember that from yesterday. Thanks, Evan.
Explore Utopia. Very nice. From Matthias. We have Houseopia. Did we already... This is the color scheme here is pretty good.
I like that rocket.
Okay.
The little footer thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is good. That's a good call. So we'll keep that one
play
up.
on negative space.
Utopia as well. Font might be a little thin. So we have quite a few to choose from. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you so much for everybody. All of the designs that have been submitted. Really strong. So this is where it gets kind of difficult. These are my top picks so far. Let's kind of go through these because there was lots of screens in here, and this card works. I'm not sure about some of the colors, and I would have made this font a little thinner. These borders are curved, and this is not. I mean, I'm trying to rectify some of this, that. So a little bit of an issue with the color scheme. This one doesn't necessarily... Yeah.
I think I have a favorite.
All right, you have a favorite.
Yep.
What is your favorite?
I believe it was...
We have this one.
Yes, that was it. That's my favorite. Anandu?
All right.
That one? You don't have to pick that one, but that's the one that I can say.
Usually the guest picks, which...
Okay.
We hate even picking favorites. But I say we go with it.
Did a lot of work. It's really clean. The typography is really good. Images.
I mean, look at this.
Are all these individual elements that he's got? Yeah, he did repeat grid on this stuff and laid it all out. That's a lot of work. I mean, this looks...
Yeah.
This is way more than I got done.
I mean, look at this. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
That's pretty awesome. Good job.
I just did a Command A. So, yes, Anandu, congratulations. You are a big winner. 1 year Creative Cloud. And added to your Creative Cloud membership if you already have it. But good job. Oh, he did what you did too, because you kind of were doing this. You kind of had elements outside that you're maybe working with.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's just nicer to pull your swatches over there. You can use the color dropper and pull all that stuff in. It's good stuff.
So yeah, Kevin agrees. He does deserve it. He's put a lot of work in, and you've just seen the quality increase over the course of the 3 days.
Yeah, totally.
Like, you know, it takes a day to kind of get your feet under you, and then everybody's like producing all these screens, and you're thinking through design. So, hats off to you.
It's not easy designing a make-believe app.
Thinking
tough.
through the language, a make-believe place with make-believe words and places.
Yeah, like normally if this was a project brief that someone approached me, I would have to sit down with them for at least several different meetings, you know, before we even started, because a lot of this was just made up on the fly, and this would not be like my normal, you know, UI design process. So yeah, it's tricky. So I'm glad to see everyone come up with some good ideas, some good solutions here.
Yeah, hats off to everybody. I mean, really, you guys did a fantastic job. Everybody who's entered in submissions. James, Anandu, Chelsea, Mateus, Adrian, Paolo, Dementius, Laura, Paras, Shashank, Cyril as well. Got his in early. And did I see, Anandu, did you said he lost his submission. He might have lost one.
Hopefully
we had that happen.
Hopefully he lost it all and then redesigned it really quickly.
Yeah.
You know, learned about his value on no autosaves. I'm also, in the last few minutes here, I'm going to go ahead and update this prototype link that I've got here. It's already there, so I'm just going to update it so we can send it out.
So I don't have a mat explicitly, Gus. Sorry.
Oh, okay. You got something. Overview of
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, sorry. No. Sorry.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about one that was submitted,
gotcha.
not yours.
Gotcha.
There's a Mateus, and there's... So anyways.
Yeah, so a quick overview here. Really the thing we added here was, you know, searching for homes. We were doing lots of other tips that didn't have to relate specifically to this app, but this was the home section. We just added this tab bar. You're teleporting. You can go to destinations. We added some annotations in here for the developer.
Looks good, man.
Some more stuff here for, you know, where do these buttons go?
You'll have to hit the share button or something like that. I mean, we're down to 2 minutes, but
I just updated the link. I'm just gonna copy it.
Maybe they could.
And I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, that works. We'd love to. Yeah, we can just go full screen with us. We'd love to keep track of you as well. So you on Twitter at MDS? Is that correct?
I'm on Twitter at MDS. I'm on Instagram at MDS.
You could. That might be a good place. Like if you wanted to, whether you want to post a link or not, but that's how people can kind of follow you and see what you're up to.
Yeah, I'm happy to like keep the conversation going on Twitter or Instagram, whatever. You know, my website is mds.is. So yeah, wherever you want.
Well, thanks so much, man. Thanks for hanging out for 3 days.
Thanks for having me.
Bummed you're
great.
leaving.
I know. I've already got all of the crying out of my system, so I don't have any tears left for you.
Just totally dry.
I'm gonna miss you.
Don't worry. I know somewhere out there you're wearing the same shirt as me and doing something similar.
Exactly.
So we'll always have that connection. Next up, we have Jason Levine, Evan Abrams, former birthday boy.
Stick around.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome. Thank you so much again, Matt. Thank you, everybody. Stick around. We'll see you in a second.